Thank you for tuning in for this word of encouragement. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with a friend. Enjoy. So I've heard a lot of jokes where people talk about what they would do and say if they ever met Adam and Eve in heaven. And a lot of these jokes are funny, right? And a lot of it used to make sense. But the older I grow, the more I realize that actually what these guys did is human nature. Let me break it down for you. Adam and Eve are placed in a garden and it's a beautiful life. Let's start there. They have a pretty sweet life. It's a really nice life. They can have whatever they want to. The garden is full of trees and they can eat whatever fruit they want to. They walk around naked. Oh, what a feeling. They can, have sex by the river, under the trees, whatever they want to. They can live life however they want to. It's a beautiful life. And in all of this, they are told, out of every tree in the garden you can have, except this one tree. There's just this one tree, and you are not supposed to eat its fruit. It is the tree of the forbidden fruit. Now, I want you to just humor me for a moment. Out of every tree in the garden, which one would you be most curious about? Which one would you actually, like you today, which one would you actually want to taste if you have been told that you can have whatever you want to, except just this one? I know it sounds very easy, right? It sounds like, well, come on, that doesn't make sense. Of course, there are so many trees to choose from. Have whatever you want to. Let me break it down for you this way. Say you and I are sitting in a room. You and I are sitting in a room, and your back is to the door, to the entrance. And in front of you is a whole view of the room. So many different chairs, so many different people. There's a musical band over there. There is something else happening over there. There's a lot happening in front of you. And then I say to you, listen, do not look at the door. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Tell me, out of this whole room, where do you actually want to look? What is the one place where you want to look in this whole room? If I say to you, do not look at the door. Listen, whatever you do, don't look at the door. I'll tell you this, the only place that I want to look right now is at the door. The only place that I want to look at is the place where you told me not to look. It's human nature. It's human. If I gave you a letter to go pass to somebody else, see, I can give you a letter and say to you, please pass this on to so-and-so. There's a good chance that you would just take it there and not read it. But if I gave you a letter and said to you, whatever you do, do not read what is in here. Whatever you do, listen, do not read what is in here. Perhaps there's a chance that I won't read, but if there is a way that I can read it without you knowing that I actually read it, the chances are I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. It's human nature. This is how we are. We are wired that way. We're very curious. What's the point of all of this? The point of all of this is this. I say this to say, you and I very often long for the forbidden fruit. You ever heard the saying, the forbidden fruit is the sweetest? This is the case. We see it all the time. We see it in our daily lives. There are some of us right now, men and women, grown men and grown women who have been around for some time, and you have seen this in your own life play out. But the forbidden fruit, boy, that was the sweetest. That was the sweetest. That's the one that had you, man, right? That's the one that really grabbed your attention. And very often, let me tell you this, it was only because it is forbidden. Nothing else makes it sweet. The only thing that makes the forbidden fruit so sweet is the fact that it is forbidden. That's all that makes it sweet. It's not because there's anything good about it. It's really because it's forbidden. So I want to tell you this, and you got to write this down somewhere. Remember this moment. Forbidden fruit is sweet, but the aftertaste is bitter. I'm going to say it again. Forbidden fruit is the sweetest, but the aftertaste is bitter. Leaves a bad taste in your mouth. There are so many of us listening right now, and you know that you've had the forbidden fruit and you wished that you did not. In the moment, it was nice. In the hotel room, you know what I'm talking about? In the hotel room, it was, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It was really good. But the moment I left the hotel room, when I woke up the following morning, it wasn't worth it, man. It really wasn't worth it. I wish I hadn't went there. I wish I hadn't done that. Forbidden fruits is really sweet, but the aftertaste is bitter, has you wishing that you had not tasted it. We've seen it all the time. We've experienced it all the time. There are prisons that are full of men and women who can tell you that it was sweet in the moment, it felt good in the moment, but in the end it wasn't worth it. There are men and women who have lost their families, spent 20 years building this family, and in an instant lost everything. You know why? Because I wanted to have the forbidden fruit. Man, it's kind of nice. It's nice. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not supposed to touch it, but just one time. Just this one time. I want to read you a scripture from Proverbs. What I love about Proverbs is that this is the one book in the Bible that can talk about foolishness and make it sound so normal. I've never read a book that speaks about foolishness so much, but it shows us the contradiction between foolishness and wisdom. And it says this about foolishness. It says in Proverbs chapter 9, from verse 13 says this. It says, the foolish woman is noisy. I want you to note that down. The foolish woman is noisy. She is simple and open to all forms of evil. She willfully and recklessly knows nothing whatever of eternal value. For she sits at the door of her house or in a seat in the conspicuous places of the town. Whoever is simple, wavering, verse 15, calling to those who pass by, who go uprightly on their way, saying this, whoever is simple, wavering, and easily led astray, let him turn in here. And as for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, stolen waters are sweet, or stolen pleasures are sweet, because they are forbidden, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But I want you to hear verse 18. Verse 18 says, but little do they know that the dead are they, that her guests are in the depths of the grave. Little do they know that this place that they rush to is leading them straight to the grave. Let me tell you a quick story as I get ready to finish this off. So I don't do amusement parks, right? I don't do that. I don't do, your big rides, your roller coasters and all of that stuff. I don't really do that stuff. So there was this one time, a couple of friends took me there. They said, listen, man, let's go to Gold Reef City. It's an amusement park. Let's go over there and have a blast. And in my mind, I said, you know what? Today I'm gonna do it. Today I'm getting up on those rides and it's gonna be beautiful. I said, I'm doing it today. And we got there and we got this all access band, whatever it is. And as soon as we went in there, we started with the easy stuff, the nice little stuff. And it was just the right amount of adrenaline for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a whole lot of adrenaline. It was just the right amount. And then after that, they say, let's go do this thing called the Golden Loop, right? Now, I don't even know what the Golden Loop is. I just know that it's fast. It's really fast. It's this little, train thing that goes on a big loop and then goes at the speed of light, basically. And my friends took me there, and we're standing in the queue. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna try it out. because there was some ladies there, and one of the ladies touched my shoulder. She was like, let's try it out. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's go. This is what I do. And this is what I do. So I stand in the queue, and as I'm standing in the queue, I was more convinced that I should not be doing this. As I'm standing there, and then I just heard, if you ask me what that was people on this whole golden loop thing. I just heard, right, that was screams. That was screams. They lasted for a split second. That's how quick this thing was going. And as I'm standing there, I said, guys, give me your bags. Give me your bags. I'm going to hold your bags for you. And when you guys are done, you're going to find me here. Now, your bags, your phones, just let me hold it. I'll be a good friend. I'm going to hold your stuff. Give me your stuff so I can hold it for you. You guys go do your golden loop thingies. And then you come back, you're going to find me here waiting. I'm not doing that. I said, I'm not going up on that. Ain't no way. You can miss me with that. There's no way that I'm getting up on that thing. I'm saying, and I had made up my mind about this. Now, I'm not saying that this golden loop is a bad thing to do, but I want you to follow me on this for a moment. See, here's the crazy thing. As I get off the queue, behind me, I see this girl who is visibly terrified, and she does not want to go on this thing. She says, guys, no, I don't want to go on this thing. And she's got some friends with her in the same way that I did. And my friends are like, come on, man. I said, guys, there is no amount of pressure that could convince me to do this. And, and this girl also has some friends with her. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, poor girl. And she goes on ahead to do this very thing that she is so visibly terrified of doing. She does not want to do it. She says it, and they say, come on, let's go. And eventually goes on, and I'll never forget seeing her get off of this thing weeping, just weeping. I saw just slob coming from her mouth. She was weeping, she was crying. But here's the thing. I want to paint a picture for you. See, this is kind of what foolishness looks like, right? What foolishness looks like, it has a couple of qualities. There's a lot of noise. Sounds like a lot of excitement. It's so hard for you to miss it. So easy for you to notice foolishness. So easy for you to notice. You know why? Because it is loud. It is loud. And it lets you know it is so loud. You can hear it from afar. And this noise is kind of that attraction factor. This noise is what draws us in, right? It draws us in with this noise. And so we tend to pay attention because, okay, I hear you, right? I hear you. A second thing, I want you to hear me out. The second quality of it is that there's always company. You will always have company. If you want to go into any kind of foolishness, if you want to go have any fruit that is forbidden, you will always have company. There will always be somebody there telling you about it. There will always be somebody telling you why it's a good idea. There will always be somebody telling you to try it out just one time. There will always be somebody who was saying, listen, you only live once. Why would you want to miss out on such an opportunity? There will always be somebody drawing you into foolishness, pushing you, or dragging you along with them. You will always, always, always have company if you go into any kind of foolishness. We know this. We have seen this time and time again. We've always had somebody saying to us, come on, man, it's not a bad idea. Come on, just one time. Most of us know, right? Most of us know. If you've ever gotten into substance abuse, you know. There was probably somebody there. It's probably somebody there. It's very rare for somebody to say, now I was just sitting alone one day and I thought to myself, you know what would be a good idea? Cocaine. It's always somebody there. Always has company. And here's the third quality, and this is perhaps the most dangerous. It is the fact that it is so easily accessible, right? We have that all-access pass where we can go anywhere, where we can touch wherever, where we can go wherever, where we can say whatever. And it is such an attraction. It is such an attraction, especially for a young person. man, as a young person, you telling me that I can have whatever I want to? You telling me that I can go wherever I want to? Hey, shorty, you telling me that we can go all the way? What? What? We can go all the way. Whatever. You said your man's not home. He's going to be away for how? See, foolishness is always accessible, readily available. Listen to what the Bible says. Proverbs says this about the foolish woman. It says she is down for whatever. I'm paraphrasing. Let me read it for you. She's down for whatever. Listen to this. It says, the foolish woman is noisy. She is simple and open to all forms of evil. She willfully and recklessly knows nothing whatever of eternal value. She is simple, open. She's willing. She's down for whatever. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, I'm in. I'll tell you this, I've heard so many tragic stories. I've heard so many tragic stories of families that fell apart because men said she was willing to do what my wife was not willing to do. She was willing to go all the way. She was willing to do this that I've been asking my wife to do for the longest time. She had no limits, right? I've heard even wives say he was willing to go all the way. He was willing to do things that my husband was not willing to do. There were no limits. And the fact that there are no limits, the fact that there are no boundaries is what draws us in, right? The fact that we have no boundaries is what draws us in. The fact that this foolishness does not have where we stop. The fact that this foolishness does not have limits is what draws us in. The fact that you can drink as much as you want to, use as much of it as you want to, be with whoever you want to, wherever you want to, do whatever. That's what draws us in. But I want to encourage you today. And I think this is more of a word of warning than encouragement or anything else. That it is sweet in the beginning. It is pleasant in the moment, but it always ends in your demise. I think if you've been around for any amount of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you've seen how it has always ended in your demise. How it has always hurt you in the end. How it always destroyed you in the end. For some of us, it meant losing that business. For some of us, it meant your whole career came crumbling down. For some of us, it is losing families. It is losing your wife, a relationship that you cultivated over the years. And over one night, what you built over 15 years came crumbling down. Because just for that one night, it was so sweet. That was the sweetest night that I ever had. It was the most pleasant night that I ever had. One of the best times that I ever had in my life. But I ask you, was it worth it though? And there are many who are completely honest and will tell you it really wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Now I only get to see my kids on weekends. It wasn't worth it. I don't know how long it's been since I've been with my family. It wasn't worth it. I lost the woman of my dreams. It wasn't worth it. I lost everything that I worked for. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth going all the way. It wasn't worth going for the forbidden fruit. Because at the end of the day, forbidden fruit is always the sweetest, but the aftertaste is bitter. It's very bitter. Thank you so much for watching this video, and listen, there is so much more on this page for you to enjoy, so much more inspiring and encouraging content. So go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you have liked this video, leave a positive comment if you enjoyed it, and most importantly, hit the notification bell so that you stay updated on everything that comes from this platform. And what I want you to do right now is go ahead and share the video with a friend, share the video with a family member, anybody that you can think about. Go ahead and share the video with them, because I promise you it might be the very thing that they need to hear today.